Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a long one. I'm actually doing a reaction video to a debate that Fight the Flat Earth and Rhetoric did a while ago. And if you recognize the first screen here, you know what I'm talking about. It's a debate with hip hop hippie. He actually calls himself Bumpy Earth, I guess. I'm just gonna call him Bumpy Nipples, just because. Why not? I get to call him whatever I want. It's my channel. Fuck off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm calling him Bumpy Nipples. Not that. Whatever. Let's get to it. Let's see what we can get into. I may have to adjust audio every once in a while, but let's see how this goes.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that frames one stupidity for murdering another stupidity so it gets sent to prison, then instigates a prison riot and pays some knowledge to shiv that stupidity during the riot. Keep in mind...
I love these. I love it when he does this, man. I don't know why, but I just love these jokes. They're amazing. They're funny every time.
Hands clean of the murder. Wait, I just told you all what I'm going to do. Please disregard the intro to this show. Welcome to another Monday night debate where we talk about things really we shouldn't be talking about in the year 2021, like the shape of the earth and do vaccines work. Shape of the earth is not flat and vaccines do work. But we're going to debate it anyway because I guess I was, I don't know, a horrible person in a past life and I'm punishing myself. Joining me to help destroy stupidity is the one, the only, the hideously faced Red Rhetoric. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, just living the dream. How about you, good sir? I heard that you were kind of an asshole in your past life, and I just want you to know, it's okay. It's okay. You're among friends.
Good. I don't mind being an asshole. It's more fun than being nice. I'd much rather be a Sith than a fucking Jedi. They sound like they have much better parties. So me and you are going to talk to someone that thinks the Earth's certainly not a globe. But he doesn't think the Earth is flat. He thinks the Earth is bumpy. That's why he's called Bumpy Earth. Hello. Welcome back to the show.
How's it going? Hip Hop Hippie, a.k.a. Mad Mardigan, killing trolls.
I sigh every time. I think I've seen every debate Hip Hop Hippie has had with these two, or either one individually, and he has the same exact intro, and it's annoying. To me, at least. Well, kind of. Whatever.
So trolls, go hide under your bridges. And then just wanted to say hi to a beautiful, sexy woman, Dandelion. She might be in the chat. Go easy on her, please. But I love you, babe, and let's get this show on the road.
Oh man, your intro hasn't changed in the slightest, has it? Have you got that written down as a script, or do you stand in front of the mirror just like practicing?
Nah, I don't even look in the mirror.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Right, so tell us, let's just ask the question, what shape is Earth?
Shape?
Yeah.
Okay, right here. Bumpy Nipples here is using a tactic I think how I see it. He's not claiming a shape so that he doesn't have the burden of proof. That's how I see it. I'm not sure how other people will see it, but that's how I'll see it. And yeah, there will be a lot of pauses. And yeah, I will be doing the whole debate. So yeah, this is gonna be a long video, people.
So Earth has to be a shape.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I never claimed a shape, so I think the burden would be on you. If you claim it's a shape, then the burden's on you.
Right, is the Earth a globe?
I like this. I love this from Fight for That Earth. Tries to pin him down. I love it.
No.
Okay.
All right, okay, please provide evidence of that.
Well, I think we should take a look at the Black Swan yet again, because you guys don't seem to get it.
Well, we absolutely get it, and we enjoyed cooking it several times. I got a bit sick of cooking the Black Swan, a bit samey doing it all over again, and it's so easy. And I did say this to you before we started, but the wonderful thing about flat earthers and the Black Swan is that no flat earther understands what a Black Swan is, because a Black Swan doesn't disprove a white swan. A Black Swan now just means you have to explain both a Black Swan and a white swan. And in the case of the observation of the oil rigs, we can explain why that happens. Therefore, it does not debunk anything. So why would you bring up the Black Swan?
Well, you say you know the Black Swan. Do you know the modus tollens to the Black Swan?
Yeah, but you don't understand what modus tollens means.
What's the modus tollens to the Black Swan?
That is not what the Black Swan means. The Black Swan just means you have to prove both the white and the Black Swan. When you're applying the modus tollens to it, which, that's not what the Black Swan is, it's not a modus tollens argument, but when you apply that arbitrary thing to the Black Swan, it then distorts what the actual Black Swan argument is. Plus, you are being dishonest in your modus tollens interpretation because it is not taking into account all the facts that are available, like the fact refraction exists, and seeing the Black Swan oil rigs as we do is explained by the heliocentric model. Therefore, it does not debunk the heliocentric model.
Okay, well, what's the modus tollens to the Black Swan?
Well, why don't you tell us what you think it is?
Well, do you...
That shows it clearly. I mean, I know. Let's watch how Bumpy reacts, and I'm gonna react to it.
You know what modus tollens is?
Yes, I know what modus tollens is. Why don't you tell us what you think it is?
Well, modus tollens is if P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P.
And do you think that applies to all situations ever?
It's logically consistent. It's a logical argument.
So are you saying it's logically consistent and correct in every instance ever?
No.
I don't know. I have to think about that.
Well, no, it's not, because that is a simplistic view of how to interpret something, because it does not take into account variables and other information. It's just putting an arbitrary, well, it's not that, then it has to be this, on something. No, that's not how reality works. And modus tollens has been shown to be a fallacious argument so many times.
So what's the modus tollens to the Black Swan then? What's the argument against you?
Well, it's your argument. Why don't you tell us?
Okay. So this is the modus tollens argument. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius 3959 miles, P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, Q, the geometric horizon. And this is based off curve calculators. So not Q, the horizon distance is greater than 9.41 miles in the black swan image, which you're not showing. You're showing a different image.
Oh, I'm showing
Therefore,
the same platforms. Does it matter which one I show?
Well, the black swan.
Well, I think it does. I mean, you could be closer to it on a boat. I'm kind of trying to steal man bumpy off here, but it kind of does matter. I mean, it does matter how close you are. But I mean, whatever. Let's continue.
Image that I'm talking about.
But this is my black swan against your black swan. So
well,
if P the Earth is flat, hold on. If P the Earth is flat, then Q no platform in this circumstance could ever fall below the horizon line. The platform falls below the horizon line, therefore not P. Okay, you see how that works? You're using a fallacious argument.
So what's the distance to the horizon right there?
The distance to the horizon is always going to be 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height. That never changes.
So what is the distance to the horizon in that image right there?
I just told you what the distance to the horizon in that image is. That doesn't mean that's what you're seeing.
What's the observer's height?
I'm not sure.
After a second thinking about this, he's right. It would never change. I was kind of thinking like Bumpy though for a second. The first time I saw this, I was like, "What are you talking about? The distance?" But then the horizon constantly moves as you move forward. So, yeah.
But to find out, like you said, how far away the actual horizon is, it's 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height. So that is in every instance the distance to the horizon. That will never change.
That image is still a black swan. It's still debunking the globe geometry.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. How far?
No, it's not.
Then how far? That's why you need to use the other black swan image, because we can use we need to know the distance to the horizon right now. What is
the distance to the horizon? The distance to the horizon doesn't change. No matter what you are seeing there,
so
the distance to the actual horizon does not change.
So the observer's height is what in that?
See, he wants him to bring up his picture because his picture shows it better, I guess. Shows his point better. I mean, how he does it. And there's a big problem with that picture. I don't believe it. I'll tell you why when it comes up.
Image.
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. To find out whatever the horizon, to find out whatever the geometric horizon is, it's 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height. That does not change.
Okay, so if the observer's height is 1 foot, okay, the distance to the horizon is greater than 9.41 miles. So the distance to the horizon maximum for a sphere with.
That's fuzzy as shit. It's not. It's. To me, it looks out of focus to me. I don't know if it's like that for everybody. I do have messed up eyes, but it's out of complete focus to me. I mean, I can see it, but it's weird. And I was told that this was from a video, so that's makes it even weirder. It doesn't make sense. Not to me. I mean, wait a minute. What is that in the water? Right there. I just noticed that. Probably doesn't matter, but I'm going to zoom in on it. I don't know what that is. But, yeah, in this picture, the photo back. I'm looking at platforms now. The scale of that. Is that miles? Is that many miles away? And scaled? Damn. That would be nuts. That doesn't look that far away in miles when you're talking about scale to me. I don't know. Let's see what this is. Hold on. Let's shrink this back up and says it's 3 miles further. I don't know. It looks weird to me. It looks weird to me. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's continue.
The radius of 3959 miles is 1.22 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay. Cool.
Image,
yeah. But let me stop you there. That never changes. That is the case. That never ever changes. But it's not what you see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you want? No. Hold on. Listen to the words that I am saying. That never changes. That will always be the distance to the.
I would like to have an overhead view of this picture. I would love to have an overhead view of this picture. That would be awesome.
The physical geometric horizon, but that is not what you see. Therefore, you cannot present a photograph as evidence as distance to the horizon. End of story. Yes, Red.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I saw something between the two images that you just blinked. Can I see the last image that you shared? All right, thank you. Okay. Do you see the crane or the platform or the extension, whatever the hell you want to call it, that's protruding off the left side of the further away platform?
Oh, the nice straight looking crane. Yeah, I do see that.
Yes. Okay. Can you go to the other image, please? Oh, I guess we found the fucking curve in the crane. All right, neato. So basically, there's huge amounts of refraction going on.
So, crane. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, that is fucked up, man.
Quick, bumpy earth, right? If you're saying this picture is evidence of something, so that means that everything in this picture, according to you, is the truth. Therefore, are you saying that crane is actually that shape?
The crane is a red crane.
No, it's not. No, it's all the same image. It's all the same image. Everything in this image is true, or everything in this image is not true. Which is it?
You're starting with the fallacies, or what he thinks our fallacy is, or what he thinks our, I don't know what to say. You'll see what I mean.
Only one or the other.
Like the flat Earth, the argument is the horizon.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking about this specific image, the entire image that is presented, not just the horizon. Is everything in this image an accurate representation of the Earth?
Yes.
So that means that on an accurate representation of the Earth, according to you, cranes are that shape. Is that the case?
That is a fucked up crane.
No.
Right.
But
so if cranes aren't that shape, that means that everything in this image is not true.
The cranes are a red herring because I'm talking about the horizon distance.
The cranes are showing the cranes are showing the atmospheric conditions of the day that the photo was taken on. Clearly, there's atmospheric refraction in this photo. So if you're trying to get measurements off of this photo, you're doing it wrong.
No, the horizon's farther than. Can you go back to the image, please? I can't see it.
It's up. Let me.
It's already up.
There we go. I think it only comes on when you talk.
Let me pin that for me. There we go. Yeah, it should stay up now.
The cranes are useful because they tell you the distance where the horizon is. The distance.
Wait, you just said the cranes were a red herring.
The horizon is past.
No, wait. You just said the cranes are a red herring. Are we allowed to use the cranes or not?
Because I'm talking about the horizon. You're talking about.
No. You. Sorry, you just said the cranes, not the horizon. Which one is it?
Yes, I'm talking about the horizon is past the crane.
So we're using the cranes as reference to something, yeah?
Yes.
Therefore, we can use the whole cranes. Are cranes that shape?
You can do that, but are you? So
are cranes that shape? Yes or no?
Are you agreeing that horizon is farther than where it should be?
No, it just looks that way in this image.
Why is that?
Because there's refraction. I just answered this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, refraction. If you say it's refraction,
we do. End of story.
That you're debunking your own geometry because
no, we're not. We're not. We're saying refraction exists on our model. No. You cannot strawman. Refraction as it is exists on our model. It is part of our model. Do not strawman.
Yeah, he commits logical fallacies in this, and then he ends up accusing Craig of committing logical fallacies. That's the new debate tactic of flat earthers and models I've seen.
Model.
Can you please let me finish?
Yeah, don't strawman our model though.
You're debunk when you say refraction. You're assuming R. Okay.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you are. You need a.
No, we're not.
And besides, it can't be.
No, light bending doesn't assume a radius. It really doesn't. Light can bend going straight. I've seen it.
It can't be refraction. Can't be the excuse because that debunks your own geometry.
No, it doesn't.
So we are not allowed to point out the fact that this crane looks bent and fucked up. We're not allowed to point that out, and also make the conclusion that because there's so much refraction in the image, that this image is not a good representation of the true shape of the Earth, or I should say the size of the Earth. Because if you have a sufficient amount of refraction, it will push the horizon back. Where if I look at this image that doesn't have the crane all janky as fuck, you can see that the horizon is in front of it.
So when you're saying refraction, you're saying light is curving, right?
Light is bending in the atmosphere, yes.
Yes.
Can you show that image of the laser that's supposedly broken?
Yeah.
No, light bends in the atmosphere going straight. You see it every time you look at the sky. Because the sky is blue, because I may be wrong here, but it is my understanding that the sky is blue because the sun rays are hitting the atmospheric gases and bending all throughout the atmosphere. That's why the sky is blue. The interaction between the sun and the atmospheric gases. If I'm wrong, I want to be corrected, but that's what I learned. That's how I know it.
That debunks your geometry because you need a straight. Yes, you need a tangent. You need a straight line to a tangent for your geometry.
You need a straight line to a tangent.
Hang on.
Yeah, you need a straight line for a tangent for your geometry.
If I have a funhouse mirror and it distorts the shape of things, I hold a ball in front of that funhouse mirror. The image that it produces is all stretched, oblong, fucked up. Does that mean I'm not actually holding a ball that the funhouse mirror is reflecting?
No.
No, it doesn't. So it's almost like the path that light takes is, I don't know, irrelevant to the actual shape of the object.
That's your argument,
casting that light, reflecting that light, or producing that light.
You're saying that the light is curving and it's lifting up the horizon.
Yep.
That
and
horizon.
So you want to know what we do? You know what we do in those situations?
You're saying that horizon is not geometric.
No, you want to know what we do in those situations? What we do in those situations is that we don't do the observation once or even twice or maybe even 3 times. We do it continuously. We go out day after day after day, and it seems to be that the clearer the day, the better the atmospheric conditions, the more the curvature presents itself. It isn't until you get to the really fucked up days where cranes look janky as fuck that you get something that could remotely, possibly, conceivably support a flat Earth of some kind. So basically, you are relying on shit.
Okay, I forgot to mention this. Okay. Okay, for those of you who don't know, rhetoric has been getting a ton of shit by this douchebag called Unilock. And, fuck. Can't believe I'm doing this. I don't think Unilock would ever attack rhetoric using me, but just in case he tries, I am not associated with rhetoric at all. I just asked him if I could make this video. That's all I did. I asked him if I'd flat Earth. That's all I did. Other than that, I am not affiliated with rhetoric at all.
Weather to give you what you want.
Now, Reds, hold on one sec, Bumpy. Reds, why don't you explain to Dumbass here what's being seen?
This is my observation of the Tampa skyline. I was on the north side of the Skyway Bridge. Tampa is about 24 miles away. One thing that you'll notice in this image is that the towers, while a little bit blurry, are not distorted. They're not distorted, they're not crooked, they're not bent, they're not fucked up. However, look out the horizon.
I can't see what you're presenting.
You can't see it. Yeah, I know. He's saying he couldn't see it, so I was making sure it was on there.
So once it comes up, I'll also indicate something. There's a second image actually in the video. So
they had to have known what was going to happen because they've gone over this picture. They've gone over this picture with bumpy nipples before. They already have. They should have. They did know, but whatever. I know why. I'm just whatever. Let's continue.
So there, you'll be looking at 2 images. The second image is of the same skyline, but closer. And what happens if we were to blink between the 2 images? If you blink between the 2 images, you can see the undistorted towers merging with an image that's closer, again, undistorted towers. So you can see that there's a giant hump of water in the way. Shows where the water line is from my vantage point and how it disappears when you're at a closer vantage point. But these are the same towers. So on a clear day, the curvature produces it, or the curvature shows itself clearly, demonstrably. But on a incredibly fucked up day with huge amounts of atmospheric refraction, that's where flat earthers go to play. That's where they say, oh, look at this image, but ignore all the other images when a clear day is out and about.
refraction. When you say refraction, you're saying that the horizon is not geometric.
No, we're not.
But then
that's a straw man.
That's exactly what
that's a straw man. That's a total straw man. The horizon is always geometric, but you don't see the geometric horizon. That's it. It's as simple as that.
There's a difference between
the horizon is always geometric, but you don't see the geometric horizon.
Yeah,
so
there's a difference.
How do you know
it's geometric between the path light takes and the actual shapes of objects? This is why I gave you the funhouse mirror example.
So,
if I hold a ball in front of a funhouse mirror, that ball is going to look incredibly fucked up in the funhouse mirror, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm still holding a sphere.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're holding a sphere. You're actually holding.
So if I'm on the Earth and the Earth is objectively round, but there's atmospheric refraction going around that fucks up the image, that doesn't change the fact that I'm still standing on a sphere. It just means that there's atmospheric refraction going around, and it's probably not the best day to take images.
So you're saying that the horizon in the black swan image is geometric?
I'm saying that the horizon shown in the black swan image is producing itself because of atmospheric refraction. What you're seeing there is light being distorted and bent and fucked up in so many ways that it actually makes the crane curve.
Is it geometric?
No, it's visual.
So it's not a geometric horizon.
It's a visual horizon. There's a geometric horizon and then there's a visual horizon. Please don't confuse the two.
Like the Flat Earth just said that we don't see the geometric horizon.
No, you don't see the geometric horizon. You see a position. Geometric horizon is. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. The geometric horizon is moved. The apparent position of the geometric horizon is moved by light going through a medium and changing densities. That's all it is. The actual physical position of the geometric horizon never changes ever, ever, ever. Even in this picture, the physical geometric horizon is simply not where you see the horizon there. That's it. That is as simple as that.
Where's the geometric horizon in that image?
It would be 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height. That's where it would be.
Where is it? Where is it?
I just told you.
Point it out.
You can't always point things out in a picture. That's not how it works.
So you can't point out the geometric horizon?
You can't point it out.
The geometric horizon is.
That's a...
I think I'm just going to let this part play, because they explain it well here, and I can, so I'm just going to let them do it.
So I told you the distance it is, and that would be whatever distance is represented on this picture.
Why are you confusing visual horizons and geometric horizons to mean the same thing?
No, you are. You guys.
No, we're not.
No, you are. We said explicitly they are separate. Why are you combining them?
Because we only see one horizon.
Yeah,
so one of them is visual. The other one is geometric. Did we not already explain this? You separate the two.
The geometric horizon is not visual?
Also,
of course not.
Clear
not unless
here,
there's no answer.
The clearer the day,
so you don't
the better the approximation is to the actual horizon. The clearer the day, the better the approximation is to the actual horizon compared to the visual horizon. On this day, the visual horizon is pushed back because there's a shit ton of atmospheric refraction, as indicated by the fucked up crane in this image.
What is the geometric horizon?
Did we not answer this? Can you please?
What is it?
Put a sound thing on so every time you ask a question, you can just push the button and it'll say
What is the geometric horizon?
The geometric horizon is the distance that is equal all around you. That is the maximum visual distance that you can see on the sphere that we are on. That's all it is. It's an equidistant point from you all around 360 degrees that represents the maximum distance you can see, or the maximum distance that would be available to you if there was no atmosphere there.
It's not the curve.
That's all it is.
So it's not the curve.
We went through this before. Don't start doing this. The horizon is an effect of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
No,
correct.
but
if there was no curve, then there would be no horizon.
Okay, I lied. I have no idea why they didn't shut this down right away, but I'm gonna let this run until it ends, because wow, dude.
in the first place.
So
You would
the
actually be
Uh-oh.
Hi, pepperoni pizza. And for Hidden Valley Ranch.
Skip it.
be able to see if you were on the shore of Africa, looking towards the United States, and you were to focus a telescope on Manhattan, the entire city skyline would be about the same angular size as the moon is in the sky. So we can't see that because there's a giant hump of water in the way. I can't see the bottom of the Tampa Bay skyline because there's a giant hump of water in the way. And I can't see the other end of the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway because there's a giant hump of water in the way. And you can clearly see the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway curving with the earth. So you show me one image where the crane is incredibly fucked up because of an amount of atmospheric fraction. I'm going to need a better image than this, along with a cease and desist of the misunderstanding of you combining a physical horizon with the apparent horizon.
So
please do
the
a better
geometric
job.
horizon. So the geometric horizon is not the curve.
No one's ever said
What are
it
you
is the
talking
curve.
about?
I'm asking you a question.
I don't get this line of reasoning. I really don't. That was about the water dropping, by the way. Who has said that? Nobody. Nobody has ever said the horizon is the curve. I don't get what this. I don't get where this is coming from.
Is the geometric horizon the curve?
No,
the horizon
it's an effect
is not
of the curve.
The horizon is caused by the curve.
So it's not the curve.
We
It's
just
caused
told
by
you.
the curve.
Stop asking the same questions when you get the answer.
I'm asking another question. I'm saying, so it is not the curve?
No, you didn't ask another question. That's the same question. That's not a tactic. That's just annoying.
That's
Repeat
the same
after me,
question we've
Bumpy.
already
Hang
answered.
on. Craig. Repeat after me, Bumpy.
It's
The horizon is not the curve. The horizon is caused by the curve. Repeat that.
So the horizon is not the curve.
Repeat what he
Repeat
said.
after me. The horizon is not the curve. The horizon is caused by the curve.
So it's kind of.
What implications would there be if that were true? Which it is, I guess. What? I'm confused. Can somebody explain what's going on? Because I have no clue, dude. No clue at all.
Kind of weird because it seems like you're using our
I
argument.
can't help but notice that you're not repeating it.
Well,
No. Your argument's a straw man. That's the thing. You need to repeat. You need to listen and repeat. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them appropriately. So, repeat after Reds. Reds, say it once more.
Once again, the horizon is not the curve. The horizon is caused by the curve.
So the
Off you go,
horizon
Bumpy.
is not the curve.
And the rest.
The rest. What's the rest?
I'm coming to a conclusion. So the horizon is not the curve.
No. See, this is simply called ignoring the actual argument. Okay, you're rejecting the rest of the argument here. In which case, you're building a straw man. In order.
Oh man. Yeah.
For you to understand my argument, you have to take everything, not just the bits that are convenient to whatever narrative you're trying to paint. So
But
again,
you just told me
the
that
horizon
is not
the curve. The horizon is caused by the curve. Repeat that.
Yeah, but you also said the horizon is not the curve. So
The horizon is caused by what?
the horizon is it's caused by it's an optical illusion.
No, the horizon is caused by what? What was the second part of that?
Yeah, what did
The
we
horizon is
say?
caused by what? What else did I say?
What did we say? We want you to say. We want you to repeat what we're saying.
You say it's caused by the curve.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Well
Great,
done.
great. We're
Time to
actually
move
doing
on. Well
Yeah,
done.
So
But
you
you also
can
said-
understand me. You're just choosing to ignore me. So if we say
Yeah.
the horizon is not the curve, the horizon is caused by the curve,
So
then
it's not
you
the
need
curve.
to take the entire fucking thing into account before you try to debunk it.
Yeah.
Now,
well, I'm just trying to-
think of it
I'm
this
trying
way,
to get to a point.
Bumpy, think of it this way. If there was no curve, there would be no horizon.
Yes.
Hey,
Exactly.
hey, Craig.
Can you prove that?
Yeah,
Hey, Craig.
yeah.
Let me tell me if this makes sense. The paw print is caused by the dog, but the paw print is not the dog.
Wait,
Does
so
that
you're
make
saying
sense?
the paw print's not the dog?
I'm saying the paw print is not a fucking dog. Yes. Does that make sense?
Wait, so you're saying the paw print's not the dog?
I'm saying the paw print is most definitely not a dog. I'm saying the paw
Right, I
print was
understand. I
caused by the
understand.
dog.
It only took 2 times for me, but I
we
understand.
This. Okay,
Yeah.
so what exactly is so hard to understand when I say the horizon is not the curve, the horizon is caused by the curve? What part of that is eluding Bumpy here?
I agree that the horizon is not the curve. That's our argument. That the
No,
horizon
it's
is
not.
the
It's not
curve.
your argument. That's a straw man because you're not taking the
your
entire
argument
thing
is
we're saying.
a straw man of what the hell I just
I
said.
think I
You're
would
ignoring
know.
the second half of what I just said.
I think I would know my own argument.
It's two fallacies actually. Strawman fallacy and the fallacy is stolen concepts. It's crazy. 2 and 1.
I don't think you do know your own argument.
Yeah, the horizon's not the curve.
Horizon is caused by the curve.
Yeah.
But it's not the curve.
What you are doing there is you are committing the fallacy of stolen Bumpy, Bumpy, shh.
I don't get it.
Calm down. What you're doing is committing another fallacy, and this one's called the fallacy of stolen concept, where you take part of what someone says and then misinterpret it to make it fit your narrative. That is another fallacy on top of the straw man fallacy that you are already trying to create for the model you clearly don't understand. I'm going to say it once again.
The conclusion is simple.
Yeah.
The conclusion is simple. There's 3 conclusions that can be drawn from this. 1, don't do drugs.
I don't know. Go with that words. Sorry, dude. At least some drugs you shouldn't do. I mean, there are some that are okay. Well, I don't know about that. Well, fuck. I don't consider marijuana a drug, so yeah, okay. If you need medication, you should take that. Those are drugs. What about the words?
2, listen to the entire statement before you try to debunk anything. 3, don't be dishonest, otherwise you're going to get called out. I made an entire thing. You're acknowledging the first half of it and ignoring the second half. You can't look at one or the other in a vacuum. You need to look at the entire thing. So when I say the paw print is not the dog, you need to understand what the hell I'm saying, that when I'm applying that to a geometric shape or a geometric object like the earth. So again, the paw print is caused by the dog, but the paw print is not the dog, or the paw print is not the dog, it is caused by the dog. The horizon is not the curve, but the curve causes the horizon.
You say it's a geometric shape, but you also said that you don't see the geometric horizon.
Correct. There's an atmosphere that causes that.
Paying attention. So allow me to answer this yet again.
If you don't see it, how do you know it's there?
Okay, I can answer that simply.
That question, but you have to listen in order for you. Because here's the thing:
I'm just agreeing with you.
Observation.
I'm not.
Okay, right. Bumpy Dumb. Let me ask you a question.
No, Craig. He asked me a question. I would like to answer it.
Okay, go on.
How do I know the curve is there? Simple. Because I don't hinge my entire premise on one flawed image. We have done multiple observations in multiple different ways. Equatorial telescope mounts, altitude of the sun over the entire span of a day at equinox. We're able to do multiple over the water observations, not just one, preferably on very clear days. We've also been able to track satellites in orbit, just proving that there's an orbit. And another thing that we've been able to do is verify the angular size of the sun remaining constant throughout the day and how that is incompatible with a flat Earth. All of these things put together build a cumulative case for the geometric shape of our planet. You are hinging your entire argument on a misunderstanding of an image that you apparently don't want to admit shows a crane incredibly fucked up.
That's projection, because all those arguments that you laid out...
No, that's what you're demonstrating right now.
Can I finish? I mean, damn. Can I get a word in or what?
As long as it's not repeating what you've already said or strawmanning, yeah. Don't strawman,
No,
and you won't get interrupted,
I'm not
okay?
strawmanning. I'm agreeing with you that the horizon is not the curve.
That's not what we're saying, though. That's not what we're saying. No, what we're saying is the horizon is not the curve, it's caused by the curve. You need to, if you agree with us, you have to agree with the entire thing, not just part of it. That is cherry picking, which is another fallacy.
I'm just agreeing with what you're saying. You're saying
no, you're not. You're not agreeing. Hold on,
Greg. Yeah. This is actually really good. He just said he's agreeing with what we're saying. So let's test that. Let's test his honesty. Okay, if you're agreeing with what we're saying, answer this question. What causes the horizon?
I already told you, it's perspective.
Oh, okay, so you're not agreeing with us then. So you're
no, that's not what we said.
Liar.
No, so you're not agreeing with us.
So,
and it's not perspective. Perspective doesn't work like that. See, I might be able to. I might be able to demonstrate perspective. I don't know. I'll try. I'm sure my camera will work because my speakers on my laptop don't. Which is, whatever, it's whatever. Yes, there we go. See, okay, here I am. That's me. So, it looks like my hand is bigger than my face. Here, it is not. Oh, because of my head. I messed that up. Fuck. No, it looks like my hand was bigger than my head. Here it doesn't. My head is bigger than my hand. And I made it look like that my hand was bigger. That's, I think, basically what perspective is, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think I know what that is. I think that's what that is. Bye. Let's get this back up and continue. Boop.
No, there's
you said you're agreeing with us, but that's not what we said.
The horizon, it's not an actual thing. It's an apparent thing. It's not.
Look, the law of perspective does not make horizons, dude.
Yeah.
So it's not a place. It's not a location. It's not somewhere.
But
where
you said it's caused by perspective. That's not it at all. The law of perspective does not mean it does not.
Here's the thing, Bumpy.
On the north side of Skyway Bridge.
But did you not say that it was?
Hold on, Bumpy. Listen, right? What you see. Listen. What you see is completely irrelevant. Like, completely irrelevant. Because if I go with what I see, the entire world is in low resolution, about 144p. Alright? Now, am I to then believe that that is actually how the world is? Or is that just an effect of light and refraction through my eyes and stuff? And can I change what I see by inducing some more refraction? Does that mean that what I'm seeing now isn't real because I've had to use my glasses?
But you're talking about refraction, you're saying that the
Mhm.
light is curving around a curve.
Uh-huh.
But how could you know if it's curved if you never see the geometric horizon?
Because we've all been to space
Did
and
I
it's been
not just
measured.
answer this question like, I don't know, 2 minutes ago?
Well, I'm still trying to figure it out. How do you measure it if you don't see it?
Again,
How do you calculate
we
it?
do more than one observation. We don't
But those
hinge
are
our
all
entire
based off
premise
of- those
on
are all
one
based off-
observation.
those are
We
based off of
build a
ours.
cumulative case that either leans flat Earth or leans globe Earth, and then we get honest with ourselves about what it actually shows. And when you do all of these observations and you put them all together, they point to a round Earth.
But you just said the horizon's not the curve. So
what is
No, we
the
didn't.
second part of what we said, though? You're ignoring that part.
you need a radius.
What is the second part of what we say?
I love how he's jumping around here. I love it, dude. It's amazing. Because Reds and fucking Craig can fucking catch him on everything he says.
Yeah, dear,
What
sorry,
is
this
the
is no
second part of
problem.
what we say, though?
But you need a radius.
What
Yeah,
is
we
the
know.
second part of what we said?
Yeah, what's the second part, Bumpy?
Well, you're assuming.
No, we're not.
No, what is the second part of what we
Yeah,
said? It's not an assumption. We've been very clear about what we've been saying. I'm just asking you to repeat it back to me.
You're saying it's caused by the curve.
Even a flat Earth would have a radius. If the Earth was flat, there would still be a radius. I don't know what he's talking about.
You're saying
It's caused
There we
by
go.
a curve.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're saying, but it's not the curve.
Craig, answer this
you're also
question.
saying it's not the
Hang on,
curve.
hang on. If we
So it's kind
have
of a contradiction.
Shush.
Hang on.
Greg, Bumpy, shush. Good boy.
Craig,
Yo.
if we have a curve, what is the consequence of a curve? Is it a horizon?
Yeah. If there was curve,
and so-
anything curved
and
would
so
always
if
have a
we-
horizon. Reds,
So if we have a horizon, which I've been able
Look at
to
this.
show in my observations and multiple observations, and for that matter, then
look-
what does that point to?
No,
look at
you're-
this. My wife. This. Hold on. This is my wife's. I'm gonna put myself on full screen so you can see this. This is some of my wife's makeup, right? You see, it's in like a round tin, Bumpy. You see that, yeah?
Yep.
Right. Now, what happens if I put that up to the camera? What do you see?
Are you talking about the horizon? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Do you see a horizon?
Yeah.
Yeah. What caused that horizon?
The container.
The curve of the container. The curve of the container caused that horizon.
Before you have the curve. You have to have the container before you have the curve.
I've got the container. Right? I've got the container. That's irrelevant. It's the shape, the fact that there is a curve. Shut up. Shut up.
You have to have a container before you have the curve. What is he saying now, or what? What was his point? I mean, these little things that probably don't matter, but that are hilarious as fuck if you were to dig into them. I wanted to ask, if I was there, I would have asked him what he meant by that. You could have a container to what? Container to have a curve? Container I don't know. I don't know why these guys haven't had strokes already.
You need a machine.
We have a shape. The shape is the cause of the horizon. The shape is curved. Therefore, the curve is the cause of that horizon.
You can
End
have a
of discussion.
horizon on a flat surface.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this flat surface, shall we?
Wait, Craig.
Tell me at what
Craig.
point this becomes a. Oh no, there's no horizon. It's just the edge of. No, hold on. No, you can't have horizon on a flat shape.
Yes, you can.
Hang on. How can you have
I'm gonna try it too. Let's see. I'm gonna show myself again. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna see if it's possible for myself. Hello. Hello again. Is it me you're looking for? I don't think so. Okay. Wait. Another chord. Okay, this one. It's a flat surface. Yeah, no. No. Yeah, that doesn't work on either side. No. Okay. I had to try for myself. Whatever. I had to see if it would work or not. Okay. But okay. Bring this back up and let's continue.
Have a horizon on a flat surface.
Perspective.
Perspective is alpha equals 2 times the arctan of g over 2r, where alpha is the angular size of the object, g is the actual size of the object, and r is the distance to the object. The law of perspective does not state that an object at an arbitrary distance will start to disappear bottom up and then eventually out of sight. What it says is that the available resolution of your eye will eventually become insufficient to make out the object. So I ask you again, motherfucker, what causes a horizon on a flat surface?
Perspective.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This is what happens when you don't listen.
Go
make
put
an
a
ass out of
camera.
yourself.
Go put a camera on a table, okay? And you'll see it on a long. Put it at the end of a long table.
Here we go.
And the table will create a horizon.
No, it's just the edge of it. There's no horizon. There's just an edge. You don't get a horizon on a flat shape.
On a flat surface.
You can.
No, I just showed you
This
can.
has been done many times.
Let me show you something. Let me get the image up. Go. This is a good example of what you would get. So.
And also, the horizon we see is not geometric.
Yeah, we're aware of that.
It's not a physical
Yeah, we're
thing.
aware of that. That's our argument. You're using our argument.
Not a physical location.
No, you're using that.
But you're not using
you're
the
using
entire
argument.
thing. That's the
It's switching. Everything doing a switch up thing. It's fuck. I think it's called a bait and switch, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not that, I'm wrong, but I think it is. I don't know what it's called. It's a good tactic if you're debating against idiots, but clearly Fight the Flat Earth and rhetoric are not idiots.
problem. You're only paying attention to the first half of it, but ignore the inconvenient second part.
You guys already said the horizon's not the curve, so I mean.
No, we didn't.
What did we see after that, dumbass? What did we say after that? The horizon is caused by the curve.
Begging the question.
No,
That
it's
is not begging the question.
You're assuming.
That's
Not
not an
assuming
assumption.
anything.
Which is why we have a horizon.
He's trying to come up with any fallacy he can to try to dismiss the argument. I think it's called a fallacy. I don't know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about everything I say.
That's what you're saying.
I
No,
demonstrated
I
demonstrated that a curve causes a horizon. I demonstrated that with this. The Earth is a globe, it's been measured. And it's also been seen from space by several people.
How do
There's
you
been
measure
photos
it?
taken of it
How do
from
you measure
space.
it? How do
You
you
can use
measure it?
lasers. You can use you can use microwaves, and it's been done with
You can
microwaves
use
which
the
aren't affected
equatorial
that much by.
telescope mount.
Yeah, you can use the
Hey
equatorial
Bumpy,
telemount.
if you have a car and an equatorial telescope mount, you can measure the curve of the Earth and the size.
Well, we can move on to that if you want.
You have a
Yeah,
car
you've
and
lost
an
this one,
equatorial
so we
telescope
can
mount.
move on.
I'm gonna need 2 data points from you, and it requires about a 100-mile drive. But if you're willing to make the trip, I got you covered.
Well, equatorial mount actually proves that the Earth is stationary and that the sky
No, it
moves.
doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Wrong,
And by the way,
wrong.
the motion of the Earth is irrelevant, by the way.
Well, that's fine. We don't have to talk. I mean, I would just keep it on the horizon the whole show. I don't
Oh,
care.
you've already lost that though. So
We're on 2 equatorial telescope mounts now, because this one is actually quite interesting. Because if you were to model an equatorial telescope mount working as it does in reality, that means it only has to rotate one axis in order to keep objects in the frame. That cannot be modeled when you put the telescope on a flat surface. It cannot be done. What happens is that an object will dip into view and then dip out if you only are allowed to rotate one axis on a flat Earth. However, on a curved Earth, you don't have that problem. You can rotate one axis and keep objects in the frame all night long. Imagine that.
all night long.
So
I love that. That was so funny.
please explain the geometric inconsistency that is the flat Earth.
Uh-oh.
God builds a church, the unholy builds a chapel next door on the holiest day of the year.
Mary, you want
Given the existence
I
of
know what that's
equatorial
a
telescope
remake
mounts
of.
and the fact that they work.
Well,
Just
the
based
reason
on
why
those
it
few
works
seconds.
is because there's a clock drive on the equatorial mount that actually
No.
moves the telescope.
I'm
No,
not
that's not
talking
the reason
about
why
the
it works.
mechanics of the
I don't know anything about this, so yeah.
telescope itself. I'm talking about the geometry, the consequences of putting that
You don't
kit
have
on a flat
geometry.
Earth.
You don't
So
have
dumb.
geometry. You told me
Are
you
you,
have
what? Are you
geometry.
telling me that an equatorial telescope mount does not take the geometry of the Earth into
No,
account?
he's trying to say that we don't have any geometry at all, even though we just
Don't.
explained that there is always a geometric horizon, you just don't see it because of refraction.
Yeah.
So if we
Your
are claiming
refraction
that we
is
live on a shape,
your
listen,
refraction-
you're
refraction is based off of
hold
our
on.
value.
Yeah, and
You
we've
don't
got our
have a
value, it's been
geometric
measured. No, strawmanning again. R has been measured several times, several hundred thousand times, possibly millions
How'd they
of
measure
times.
it? Who first measured R?
It's been measured lots and lots
who
of times.
first
It doesn't
measured
matter
it?
who first measured
Yeah.
it. It's been measured
What matters
quite
is what
recently.
we can do right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's been measured
Well,
quite recently using microwaves,
how do you
which
measure R if you never
excuse
see
me,
the geometric horizon?
excuse me, hold on. Shh. It's been measured quite recently using microwaves, which are such a frequency that they are not that affected by refraction as other forms of like wavelengths of light.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, I just sent you a image that is through a Twitter link, Craig. Can you do me
Okay.
a favor and put that image up real quick? I would like to explain something about it.
Yes. 1 sec.
So we have a viewer, a fan, if you will. His name is Geistview. Now, Geistview is kind of a badass, and what makes him a badass? He gets some epic images from his backyard. He has an equatorial telescope mount, and he does long exposure shots of the night sky, assuming, of course, a clear night, where being very selective with your day is very important. Maybe flat earthers should learn this little tip. But what he did was he put all of these images that he took together to make a panel. And what I'm going to show is that panel. So this is Geistview's image of a lot of separate images, all of it taken with an equatorial telescope mount. When these images were taken, it only
Right.
had to
Hold on,
rotate-
Reds. Hold on. Like, for goodness sake, you are technologically illiterate. Click on me.
It's
click
not
on
my
the
fault,
feed.
dude. Every time he talks, it
Yeah,
cuts off the
again,
music.
you are technologically illiterate. Click on the feed coming from me and click on the buttons on the top right and
on
then
that.
pin. If you pin,
I don't know.
If you click on it and you click pin, it will pin it and stop going away.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this in 2 parts. Or 3, maybe, I don't know. This. Yeah, this is gonna be like a playlist of some kind. Cause it's long as fuck, dude. And I'm just, I'm disabled. It's hard to be comfortable for too long in one position for me. It's weird. Sometimes I'm just not comfortable right now, honestly, so this is gonna have to be done in like 2 or 3 parts. I'll try to make it 2 parts, but it's probably gonna have to be 3. I'm sorry, it's just how it, I don't know, just how it is. Well, stay tuned for, part 2. I'm probably gonna release them pretty much at the same time. So it's not gonna be like too much wait time between parts. Don't worry about it. I'll see you later.